Inside SAMRO headquarters in Braamfontein, the air was thick with anger. Musicians weren't just attending a meeting, they were fighting for the very soul of their organization. Welcome in SAMRO to the MOI meeting. This is the Roller Coaster Diaries with myself, your host of Jesus Chorus. Today we are at the SAMRO MOI meeting. This is the setup for the members so that they can actually get some nice refreshments before the meeting starts. This is how beautifully set it is today for the members. As you can see, we got all the supplies, water and fruits. It's all nicely set up. It's gonna be a lovely meeting, the MOI meeting, SAMRO.
We scheduled it to be 2 hours because the amendments to the MOI are quite substantive, but we want to take time and not rush through things. This is just what we from management, from administration, have seen as necessary to change the document. But ultimately, those amendments will have to be approved and agreed to.
I was there, and from the moment I walked in, you could feel it. This wasn't going to be an ordinary MOI meeting.
We scheduled it to be 2 hours because the amendments to the MOI are quite substantive, but we want to take time and not rush through things. This is just what we from management, from administration, have seen as necessary to change the document. But ultimately, those amendments will have to be approved and agreed to.
Within minutes, members were already shouting and fighting for the meeting to be adjourned.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. Thank you for the informal engagement. But I think I just want to correct the opening remarks by member services and Mrs. Nobamo. We are not amending the MOI here. It's an engagement. Can we agree?
Yes,
we are not amending it. We can only amend it at the right platform, at the EGM. That's one.
Thank you for that.
Okay. So, and then number two. So then it begs the question that if SAMRO, South African Music Rights Organization, is supposed to protect musicians' royalties. But lately, members are asking, is SAMRO still working for us? Or has it been captured? This wasn't just disagreement. This was resistance. That if we're not amending, what would be the point of this engagement? Because of then, will the inputs... Adding fuel to the fire. A forensic report said to be containing critical information about the organization's finances was withheld from the members. Without it, how can they make informed decisions? The inputs that we make stand, and that's another thing which we need to deal with. But thirdly, the quality thereof. This is how thing, guys. This is a hub, Johannesburg, the hub of our industry, like many industries. What quality are we gonna derive from this meeting? When this meeting was done, Gaspitsa Barafini, and then people didn't pitch, they didn't show up. So it's a concern for me, and I'm raising it because I know some of you do want to engage, but I feel like, is it really even worth it? And thirdly, did I say 3 points? The fourth point, how can we be sitting here, members, and be so hypocritical? We were here when the COO was speaking, we commended her, and some she's on suspension.
Are we saying is it okay? Life can go on? I don't think so. I really don't think so. And I think, CEO, I'm appealing to you that, let's find a way to resolve these matters amicably. And CEO,
This is about more than boardroom politics. If SAMRO is captured, the people who suffer is the ordinary musicians, the one depending on royalties to feed their families.
And CEO, I've said it and I will say it again. I'm saying it in front of members. We have a capture happening right under our noses. And please do not be party to it. Because of Rashid, you'll get an interpretation there.
Yeah.
Eugene Tetwa, a musician and activist, has been circulating a petition to remove all board members.
We love you. You've done a sterling job. The financials speak for themselves. You worked very well with our COO up until these divisive people came on board. We must tell it like it is. I've just, members, you don't know. I run and I lead a huge civil society movement. So more often than not, we work with intelligence. Now I pick up intelligence this morning that these divisive independent board directors have put a motion of no confidence on our composers. Imagine that. How can I sit here and smile and go on when our SAMRO is being captured right under our noses? And here's the danger. There's 4 of them on the board currently. We've removed 3 publishers. We are left with only 3 composers who represent us. I'm a composer. So if we don't defend and protect them, who's going to? So it cannot be business as usual.
I was there in the meeting of the 10th of July when the COO, Mpho Mofokeng, was asked by members to point out implicated board members in the Fundisi report. And she did exactly that. These board members were namely Sony, Universal, and Gallo Music, and they were then removed by the members. However, the chairperson, Nicholas Maweni, and the independent board member are implicated.
So we need to deal with these things when I see you, because of, I don't know, you are being pressured to talk a particular line, and we can't allow for that. In fact, in the next...
Summarize.
Okay, can summarize. And I'm going to propose in the next EGM, because of there's no people here, there's no quality in terms of numbers. We're going to remove them because of their charges against them. People don't know that...
From over 60 million that was fraudulently stolen, 30 million, which is almost half of the stolen amount, was allegedly paid to the implicated board. So now, because the chairperson is also caught up in the mix, he wants to give these implicated individuals amnesty. And this will make it difficult for anyone implicated in this fraud to be criminally charged and prosecuted. Many members accused the CEO of using this meeting to push changes that would allow a small group to take control of SAMRO. Even more explosive, some claimed money from our royalties was used to fund a book launch for Dr. Vilakazi, an independent board member who isn't a SAMRO member because she is not a musician. So that is tantamount to fraud. The COO is suspended for exposing this saga, and members want her to be protected and back at her work. They want the chairman,
Nicholas Maweni, the CEO, Annabelle Libete, the IT Director, Veronica Mutlotsi, and the independent directors, together with Dr. Vilagazi, to be removed from SAMRO because they are up to no good.
One of them has got a judgment. She shouldn't even be in the board. The chair has constantly refused us a report. There's no court of law that said we can't get our report. They are forensic.
Okay.
So as I conclude, Annabelle, can we deal with the serious issues? I don't want to be dealing with symptoms. I want us to deal with serious issues. We want our CEO back. We want her back. Whatever it is, the issue between you, I'm sure we can find a mediator. I was speaking to Mami Yvonne. She can mediate, and there's many people who can mediate and restore the beautiful relationship that you guys had.
All right.
People fall out, but they can make up.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
This process, to go back to this process, we'd spoken a while back with members about the process to review the MOI. Members have consistently been saying part of what we need to remedy in the organization is governed by this document. The heart, the constitution of the organization is centered around the MOI. So we have to take the initiative to remedy whatever needs to be remedied in that document, right? So we've spoken about this process a while back. I think at the AGM last year we mentioned that we're going to start a process to review the MOI. At the EGM we mentioned that we're going to start a process to review the MOI. The organization has to work.
CEO, thank you very much for the background, and of course, Babu Zimandi. Just two things, CEO. The one is that I think we acknowledge that you are acting on the mandate of the board. I think that did not come out from your introduction. It did not. You just said we as management, we said, and which was for me a concern. That's why I was raising that issue, that as management, you've got no jurisdiction. So I think let's just make that clear. So the context you are providing, I think it makes sense to the extent that then we need to give even members an opportunity to interact with the MOI.
So there are parts of the organization where there is different activities happening. This is a process that if we don't start now, we might find ourselves in 2026 and 2027 at a later point, not having attended to the issues that need to be addressed in the MOI. I appreciate the members in the room today who've taken the time to be here. It's not about quantity always, it's about the quality of members who are here today, who made the time to be here today to engage with a document that needs to be engaged with, that needs to be amended. So we have to separate issues. There's an issue around the MOI, why we called this meeting today. There's an issue about the COO that is not to be tabled here today. I'm not going to venture into the discussion around the COO and what's transpired. This is not the platform, it's an internal HR matter, and I want to respect that process. I cannot engage and deliberate on HR things with members. That's not the platform, it's not fair, it's not correct, it's not procedural either. Out of respect to the process, out of respect to the COO herself, I am going to not venture into that conversation. And as the CEO of the organization, I've got the right to say, I can't talk about staff matters with members. I will not talk about staff matters with members. There's a process that will run its course, and we can't interfere with that process or jeopardize whatever may transpire through that process. So can we just respect internal processes as well and allow those processes to run their course? The other matters that you've spoken to, there's an EGM coming up. Members will have an opportunity to vent and to unpack and to table whatever intelligence that you've said, that you've shared with us this morning. That's the platform for that. This is not the platform to be talking about board and board members and board directors and who's coming in and who's going out. And I can't venture into that either, because it's going to detract us from what this conversation is. It's a necessary conversation. We want to take you through what we perceive to be the amendments that need to be made. We hope you will engage with those amendments. It's the start of a process, it's not the end of a process. It's the start of a conversation. We will take the inputs. Remember, we just said we are presenting what we see from a management perspective, from an administration perspective, as needing to be corrected. But there will come a time where you have different views about what this document needs to be. We have to take those on, because this is a member's document. It's not a management document. It's not an administration document. It's a member's document. So we have to trust that members want this process to start. When it concludes is when it will conclude. We're not going to rush the process. We're not going to interfere with the process, because we believe that this is a process that is in the members' hands to unpack and to follow through on. So with the greatest respect, can we focus on the issues around the MOI, because those issues are just as critical and important in order to take the organization
Point
forward.
of view, if we are going to be fair and honest, this kind of a platform, it's not allowing us to be able to engage or the contents of this thing, because we're seeing it for the first time. It was never published, which means that we are in any way contravening what the law requires of you, of what you're supposed to have done. So I think we need to then get to a point where we collectively agree on whether we proceed to contravene the law or we proceed with this session in a current form that it's been presented to us. I think that is a very important thing we need to come to. And this goes to all other sessions that we are planning, which there is a communique coming out from SAMRO without times. Where does this, and venues, where does this thing happen? I mean, this one, we only knew yesterday that it's starting at 10. Otherwise, there was a communique that says in Gauteng to be the 14th of August. Now, all of these things, Chair, if we are to be honest and frank and appreciating the level of engagement you want, then I think we need to be honest and fair and say, you go publish these things as it is required by law. It's not me who's saying it. Company secretary could have long helped you with that, because it's there. The MOI is her own document because she signed it. She was supposed to have long allowed you to do that, so that when we come here, we're not meeting information for the first time, that we don't know how to interact with it. We've got views ourselves on the MOI. So the question is, at what point do we raise our views? Because now we are being channeled to deal with what the independent process has, founded and has been able to propose to you. At what point do we get our positions in there? Because that's the point, I guess, why we're here. So, Chair, I want us to be, as I say, and I repeat, let us not falter in terms of governance. Because that, Chair, puts all of us in a very difficult position where not even people who are here can challenge us in court and say that process was null and void, it did not follow what the law requires. So I think your guidance will help in this regard as we listen to some proposals probably from the front. Thank you.
So the board then asked, please can we start a process of reviewing the MOI? This was last year.
What is the management's problem statement to want to amend? Because there must be a problem statement. There must be issues that you would have seen that you are trying to implement, and you realize that the act or the MOI is actually hamstringing you to get there. Therefore, you are proposing these kinds of things. What's the problem statement here? What is the problem with the MOI? From the management point of view, so that we understand where you're coming from. There's no program, for an example, here. It's just it says it's who are invited just to come and listen and interact. What is your problem statement that influences you to want to review the MOI?
At the time when we needed to go into a process of board rotation, there was issues around interpretation of certain terminology in the MOI. So with the revisions that we are presenting today, those are revisions that were tabled to the board, and the board said, we accept, because this is a process that we started and identified that we need to resolve certain issues. Therefore, management, we are empowering you or delegating the responsibility of popularizing the amendments, the proposed amendments with the membership body.
I want to speak to the members. Members, we have been called here to rubber stamp. This is not a process of engagement.
Yeah, sure.
And if we stay, we are agreeing to rubber stamp a process to change our MOI. First of all, as my colleague mentioned, we've been having MOI sessions online where we've been talking about the MOI and what it is. In those sessions, we're speaking in all the languages. In those sessions, we are using infographics because CEO, we don't know your members. Your members speak all the languages in South Africa. Not all of your members can read. So this is rubber stamping. You are not engaging us in the languages we speak. You are not engaging us utilizing every resource available to speak to members. I'll share some of the things from our sessions. We've reduced this MOI to infographics so that no matter what language you speak, you can understand what is the difference, what does this mean? Because it's this very same MOI that is used to us. In those sessions, we raised a concern about the public benefit status of SAMRO. None of these amendments speak to the PBO status. The PBO status is the same one that funded the publishing of a book. Why are we PBO status when we are failing to distribute money to members? When you say you want to be PBO status, it means you are doing your job well already. You're not doing your job. You're not distributing to members. You're still distributing market share based on market share, which is a theft. I had a career. I never got a cent from SAMRO. They distributed all my money on market share. Lastly, we were sitting in an EGM in this room. We adjourned the EGM. Why are things that were part of the EGM being activated when the EGM is not complete? You are jumping steps. You are just using us to rubber stamp. So for myself, I'm bringing a proposal from the floor. CEO, we propose that this meeting does not sit, that every member here who came to this meeting be reimbursed for transport. You are wasting our money. And you don't pay us back, but you pay yourselves. This meeting is a rubber stamping process. If you were serious about meeting with us, you would have made sure that there are things they are doing before to make sure that members at least even understand the document that you want to amend. But there is nothing like that here. Thank you.
Good morning to everybody. My name is Tabin Fuli. When I joined this organization, it was belong to the members. But what made me very angry, I didn't even want to talk because when I'm angry, I don't like to talk. I see the board is not here, not even one member. I don't know why is that. The chair said to a member here, when you don't want to be part of the organization, you can go. In whose organization? The chair got us here. When we started this organization, maybe he wasn't born, but he's got guts to tell members that they can go. He will go and leave all these members that he wants to find here. I suggest that you tell them, because they're not here, this building belongs to us. We made money for this building to be here. We need to be respected. They must respect the members. They cannot tell us what to do. They are working for us. And if they don't want to work for us, tell them they must resign. And we ask you, as a woman, we respect women. But what we have done to other women is uncalled for. Used by men. Because we know that men have used you. We don't understand that next time it will be to you. And if it comes to you, we won't allow it. So we don't allow it to other women. So we suggest you tell them, the next meeting when you come here, that lady must be here. Thank you.
That's okay. Can I go?
Yes.
Yes.
And then I'll come
Yeah,
to-
thank you, Chair, CEO, okay, Chair of the meeting. What the company secretary was saying,
It's not true.
it's not true, and she knows it. So, what my sister there, Mazwai said, we are here to rubber stamp. And I think maybe go to time, maybe guys. It's the rubber stamp because of our composer members were excluded. They don't even know about this workshop. So it's criminal in nature. So we know what's happening. The independents are captured in SAMRO. They are the ones who worked on the amendments without the composer members. They are the ones who put those amendments to take power from us, so that even when we elect a composer member, they must decide, have the powers to decide whether we again or again. So it's wrong what she's saying. It's wrong what she's saying. And I've written a very cordial email to company secretaries to say, please uphold your fiduciary responsibilities, even impartial. But I don't see her being impartial. One of the charges against the chair, we're going to remove all of these independents. It is the recruitment of the company secretary, which was not done properly. And it's a charge. And if company secretary wants to enter the politics of between the board and the members, so we're going to remove her also, because we've got grounds for that. So please, guys, don't provoke us. Don't provoke us.
And then I will try to summarize and respond to everything.
Chair, thanks very much. I think I'm really disappointed again with the company secretary. I must be honest. I mean, the company secretary can't always find a way when the law is quite clear. When she says it's currently proposals, why would you publish the amendments? Why? Because the amendments were never published, because they would have been adopted. So let's not play around with people's lives here. Let me repeat myself. I'm saying, she says, these are proposals. So it's not necessarily the amendments themselves which can be published. So I'm arguing that why would you publish amendments? Because amendments would have been agreed by members and the board. You publish the proposed amendments. This is what the Act is saying. You publish the proposed amendments so that you allow the people who must be affected by those amendments to make contributions, or rather to understand what amendments are made. So we need to be very, very clear that the company secretary, and she knows that we can report her. I mean, the company's act allows her. We can report her if she continues with this behavior, where she just finds a way of saying something that is not appropriately correct, insofar as the law is concerned, because she is the custodian of this MOI. So if she does not understand it, what more of us members? So Chair, I want to be clear enough to say, can we respect the law at least? If we don't respect each other, maybe that we can solve outside. But let's not disrespect the law. and let's not undermine the prescripts of the law. Because it's the only thing where we find each other.
Absolutely.
Personally, we can have egos and everything. But
There are two motions, or there's a motion that was supported by Tsepo, a motion that NOMSA put on the table around adjourning this session. Tsepo supported it, and I think it's up to the members to decide how you want to proceed. We will publish, I do understand that the proposed amendments, the document with the proposed amendments was circulated to members. And I hear you saying that it might be that coming here today, not everybody has had sight of that document. So the suggestion is, should we park today and then have another date to reconvene the Gauteng one with everybody having had a chance to engage with what is in the proposed documents? We as management are presenting what has been tabled and agreed to by the board as a document that they've accepted that needs further engagement. They've accepted the proposed intention of amending the MOI, but it's for the members to engage with the proposals and or accept or disagree with those proposals. So we're facilitating. Can I finish? Can I finish?
Point of order.
No, but can I finish?
No.
But I'm just
No, it's a point of order. You must recognize me. Point of order. You can recognize me. It's a point of order.
It's fine.
It's a point of order. Please recognize me. No, you can't finish.
No, but
No. Can I call for a point of order? It's a point of order. Go Parliament, when you call for a point of order, the chair must recognize you.
Yeah, but out of respect, Professor,
Okay.
and then you have a point of
All
order.
right, thanks.
I get, thank you.
Yeah, but it's not-
So that's where that's how the process commenced. That's how the process was followed, and that's why we are here today. Yes, and that's the members' hand at the back.
CEO, thank you for acknowledging what we've proposed to move forward, but I want to correct something here. And members, I want you to be aware why I'm saying this is a rubber stamp. At the EGM, I raised the matter of the public benefit organization status. Now, when you say to members, we are going to engage the MOI, and then members in the EGM say, we see what you said there, and now we are adding the PBO status. Does SAMRO need to be PBO status? But when the amendments are circulated to you, the thing that's raised in the EGM is not included. You are confirming that you are pushing an agenda. Because what was supposed to happen, when a member in an EGM, the highest decision-making body of this organization, says, we see your amendments and we add, you add. You didn't add, because I read those amendments before I came to the meeting. You didn't add the PBO status that we raised in the EGM. So this process is to rubber stamp. You want to say we met with Gauteng, they saw their amendments. And also, you said this not 7 or 10 days ago, 2 days ago. So that is not enough time to say to members you can peruse this document and then come to a session. So even to say that you sent it out, it's dishonest. If you sent something 10 days ago, you can say, I have sent it out. But if you sent something a few days ago, you cannot say, I've sent it out. It's not sent out yet. It's like, it doesn't work like that. It's dishonest. So members, I just want you to be aware of that, because I think it's being left out. In the EGM, we raised the PBO status, and it's not reflected in those amendments. So now when you go back and you recall all of these meetings after this EGM that will sit, what we add as members in the meeting must be reflected in your proposed amendments, not only what the independent person said.
Yeah.
Good morning. My name is Kundo Watts. I just want to greet all the members firstly, and I've just been listening in, and I've only been a member for about 7 or 8 years now, and I try to attend these meetings as frequently as often to learn about the setup and hopefully be a part of the solutions that get made in the room so we can move forward. But you know, it's so sad to see a member that's been here for 45 years coming here still so frustrated to a meeting, because we're like, I don't want to be him in 40, with all due respect, I don't want to be him in 45 years, because that's a bleak future for our music industry. So first of all, I do agree with what my sister's been saying in terms of rubber stamping, and I think leaving this meeting, it has to be clearly said that we don't agree with what's been said today and how this meeting is, what this meeting is standing for. But what I am saying to the members here is that we're here showing that we're all committed to a solution. And I mean, we could end this meeting today right now, or we could say we're all here, what is the way forward? Firstly, we want to say we don't agree with what this meeting stands for, number one, as a collective. And I think that has to be a public statement. And I know to the CEO, I know you get all the backlash, and I do feel for you, because you got a bunch of hungry people coming here that believe that they deserve more, and the reality is most of them do really deserve more than what they're getting, you know. Like things are hard enough, life is hard, no one's making money. I mean, we could all be out there trying to hustle, but we're here believing that this institution is going to become better for us going forward. So I feel that, number one, we don't agree with this meeting as a collective. It has to be publicly stated. There's no amendments that can be made because it's not following procedure. The sad thing is that there's an efficiency problem in SAMRO, and that's been a long time problem. And I think that that's what this meeting has to be directed towards, is SAMRO's inefficiency. You know, like a document gets sent out 2 days before, there's still not a proper communication, knowing your members for years, and how everybody understands differently. A video can't even be sent out explaining, guys, or send this number if you don't understand what you're reading. This is your future at the end of the day. So for me, it's an efficiency problem from SAMRO's point that needs to be addressed today. And so those are the two things. Number one, we don't agree with what this meeting was called for. We better than being used as rubber stamps. Number two, SAMRO's inefficiency has to be addressed. I mean, if we're not going to be, I think I'm here today hoping that, like, how do things get treated better? How do memberships get treated better? How do we grow? I mean, like she's saying, a couple of years I was here, they took away the 500 Rand that you get at the end of every year. There's so much undocked money. Who else must it go to except for the members? You know, it's so sad when you can't even invest 1,000 Rand into a member for years. No one must get anything, but it's the artist's money that's been sitting there. And there's not even a system in SAMRO that says, how do we look after our own? Why are South African artists some of the brokest on the continent, but it's got the biggest collection body on the whole continent? It doesn't make sense.
Tamba, can I ask?
Can I raise a point of
I'll come back to you.
Yes, I want to raise a point of order, and this is important, and actually talks to the jurisdiction part also. I have it on good information, and so when you start mentioning the name independent, I boil. Our composer members were not engaged in this thing. That is a serious irregularity. We've got 7 board members currently, after removing the 3. So the independents are working together as a close caucus, excluding our composer members. So this is unacceptable. It's totally unacceptable.
Let me correct you. When I say...
No, I know. I'm not asking. I know. I'm telling you.
You can't speak facts that you don't know. Let me correct you. When I say independent legal expert, that's what I said. I didn't say independent board member. I said an independent legal expert who works with the company.
I'm saying the draft that you are bringing to us now did not engage our composer board members. That's what I'm telling you.
Marianne, can we pull the minutes off?
Company Secretary, please be honest.
We had a meeting with the board last year where the independent legal expert in the meeting presented the proposed amendments to the board in a meeting of the board, and the board engaged with her. And it wasn't even management that was engaging, it was the board engaging with the legal independent expert.
You're not hearing me. You're not hearing me. I'm saying, as we see it right now, the 3 composer members were not engaged. They don't even know about this workshop. I'm telling you now.
Let me give you an example.
So why? No, wait. No. Why are the 4 independents discussing our future but excluding the 3 board members? Why are they doing that?
We're talking about the MOI, right? Let me respond to your question about the MOI. When the board approves, for example, the notice for the AGM that went out, it's the board that approves the wording of the notice. Because in the notice, the 10th of July notice, there was a update to members around the process to start the MOI review.
Umoya wami uphukile. Lokho you've just insulted me. And ngicela ukukhuza phana kithi. Uphinde uyikhulume ngikhuleke. Never say I'm captured. No.
Are you threatening me?
No, I'm not.
Are you threatening me in the meeting? Are you threatening me? No, be clear. Are you threatening me now? Address the check. Don't address me. You are out of order. You are out of order. You are being personal now. No.
Not in captured.
No. You are out of order, Zimandi. No,
you're out of order.
Don't do
No, you're out of order.
Address the table outside. I know.
It's not gonna.
Don't do that. Not too much. Let's do it. Why want you something? Why want you check? Before you close off.
Yes, you want to say the last word?
The last one, please. Thank you, CEO. Please tell those independents to stop their nonsense. They've given a motion of no confidence against our composers. They must stop their nonsense.
No, I was just saying, in terms of providing a platform for some of the people who are here, who might have, some solutions and ideas on how to roll out, these workshops. Since I think we've all said that they're very important regarding and looking into, the environment that we have and the kind of members that SAMRO has. I think maybe even right now, I don't know if there's someone who could be assigned from management to engage some of the members who would want to engage further in terms of brainstorming and coming up with solutions on how these sessions could be rolled out, and maybe also creating a task team from the membership to engage with management to make sure that the members have buy-in, with regards of in terms of how to roll out these workshops to make sure that they are effective, and I guess everything has been considered. Because it's easy for management to also just work in silo and not see some of the blind spots, So I think for member buy-in would be a great idea to have a task team.
Thanks. Yes. Onatumi has just said about a task team. Right? I think maybe that's something that's a valuable contribution that we should not lose sight of.
Absolutely.
Right? And this is not the totality of the members, but maybe from this team there could be one or two that the members say, okay guys, we feel that this person could help your process. And I know I'm going to be selfish because I've seen one of your sessions, and maybe ask if Nomsa, you wouldn't mind being a part of maybe the initial phase. Let's sit and go through it. And then we can say, okay, we've at least sat with a member who represents composers, and there might be, to me yourself, maybe representing. It's Women's Month, so I'm going to defer to the ladies. Sorry.
I also
and then maybe from the publisher side, that we have a team representing other side, so that we just go through it and see what would be the best approach as well. That is supported then by the members, so that it's not seen to just be top down in that way. With that, can I just maybe get a consensus that the group supports that idea?
Seconded.
So Nomsa and Jumi, then we can work through it with the concept and take that process forward. Okay, happiness. Members, thank you for the time, thank you for the energy as always, thank you for the passion as always, thank you for availing yourself as always.
Thank you for taking the punches.
Seek to do better.
Yes. Today we had a very wonderful progressive meeting here at the SAMRO House in Braamfontein, Johannesburg.
It has been another progressive MOI meeting here at SAMRO House, Johannesburg, South Africa. I'm your host, Freezer Scorers. This is the Roller Coaster Diaries. Stay tuned and click that subscribe button for more information about all the royalties to be paid to the artists.